Zillow just ranked Charlotte as the third most buyer-friendly large market in the entire country. Just a couple of years ago, it wasn't even on the list. The market has shifted here in a big way. And if you're thinking about buying in Charlotte, that changes your timing and your strategy completely. I've been in this market for close to 12 years, and what I'm seeing right now is something I honestly haven't seen in a long time. So let's break it down. Here's the thing. You can go back for a second showing now. You can sleep on it. You can ask for an inspection and actually have a real shot at getting one. That would have sounded almost crazy in Charlotte 2 to 3 years ago. Back then, if you wanted to tour a home, you were already behind buyers who had seen it before you even got on the schedule. You had maybe 48 hours to make your decision right then and there. And if you asked for an inspection, sellers had no reason to give you anything, no repairs at all. The market had all the leverage and buyers truly felt it. That's changed, and it's changed because of one thing: inventory. By the end of 2025, the Charlotte region had close to 10,000 active listings, up nearly 16% year over year. And the most current data from our Canopy MLS, which is the regional source, shows inventory still rising into the early 2026, up roughly another 15% from the year prior. So let me give you the framework that makes all of this click, because the numbers that really matters here isn't price, but how long would it take to sell every home on the market at the pace homes are actually selling. Think of it that like a pressure gauge. Under 2 months, sellers have all the leverage and the edge. Buyers are competing hard and usually are losing multiple times. Around 3 to 4 months, you're in a more balanced territory. Neither side really controls the conversation. Once you get over 6 months or more, sellers are the one competing for that buyer. During the craziest stretch of the pandemic market, Charlotte's pressure gauge dropped to less than 1 month of inventory in key areas. That's what gave you waived inspections and offers with zero contingencies and high due diligence fees. The most current numbers for early 2026 put the full Charlotte region about 2.5 to 3 months of inventory. Mecklenburg County is sitting around 2.5 months. Some of the outer suburban markets are getting closer to 4 months. And when we get into what builders are doing right now, you're going to see exactly how that pressure is showing up in ways most buyers never even think to check. Stick around. So we're not in panic buy territory anymore, and that changes the whole conversation at the negotiating table. Hold on that foundation, because what we're about to cover builds right on top of it. But before we dive deeper, by this point, you're probably wondering, okay, what does that mean for me here currently in Charlotte? If you're thinking about buying here and you want a real conversation about where the opportunities are right now, my contact information is down in the description below. Shoot me a message with your timeline and what you're looking for, and let's build out a strategy around this shift designed specifically for you. Okay, let's keep going. Now, something else is telling the real story of this market currently, and it has nothing to do with price. A house hits the market in Charlotte on Thursday morning. By Saturday, it had 20 showing, and by Sunday night, it was under contract and above asking. No contingencies, no inspections, and you didn't even get a chance to see it. That wasn't rare at all. It was actually the norm just a few years ago. But that timing has slowed down. For all of 2025, homes in the Charlotte region averaged around 50 days on market compared to about 39 the year before. And the most recent Canopy MLS data going here into early 2026 shows that number is starting to climb a little bit. Now we're roughly in that 60 to 75 day range, depending on how it's being measured, with the city of Charlotte up more than 40% year over year. Redfin is also showing the same direction, but using just a little bit of a different methodology, but the same outcome is what's being shown. Homes are sitting long enough now where you can actually think through your decision. And when people hear that, some assume, something's wrong. Like the market is falling apart. And that's not what's happening. Demand is still here. People are still moving to Charlotte. 172 people every single day. But the extreme imbalance from a few years ago isn't there anymore. Sellers just don't control everything currently. And that extra time opens up real options. Inspection contingencies are back and getting accepted. Finance contingencies are standard again across most price ranges, and price negotiations and repair credits are happening in ways they simply weren't just a few years ago. That pressure that was pushing buyers into rush decision is mostly gone. And what do you do with that time? You use it. Stay with me here, because in a few minutes, you'll see how some buyers are using that extra room to negotiate and get outcomes that didn't exist prior. Now, you're able to go back for a second showing, you get the inspection, and you're able to get some negotiations going on. The buyers who understand this shift and act on it are the ones putting themselves in the winner's seat. And from here, the next piece you need to understand is how price fits into all of this. There's a version of the price story that scares people off, and there's a version that actually helps you make better decisions. Only one of those is accurate. For several years, Charlotte home prices were doing something that didn't feel real. Double-digit appreciation year after year, stacking on top of early gains. If you bought in 2019 and checked your value 2 years later, you almost didn't recognize that number. It felt great if you were the owner. It felt out of reach if you were trying to get in. That pace has slowed down a lot. Prices haven't collapsed and the market isn't in distress, but that stretch where you could close on a home and immediately see double-digit appreciation, well, that's not the market that we're currently in today. What we're seeing instead is stabilization. And if you're a buyer, that should feel like relief. The most current data across multiple sources has the Charlotte region sitting roughly in the mid 390,000 to the low 430,000, depending on the area within Mecklenburg County, a bit higher in the better pockets that are the concentration, some of the more established neighborhoods. Year-over-year appreciation is now in the low single digits. That's a big shift from the frenzy years ago, but it's still in the positive direction. The market is still moving forward, just at a pace that makes more sense. And when you combine that with rising inventory, it creates something practical for buyers today. Sellers are getting less than their asking price across the region. Homes are closing at about 95% of list price compared to a time when sellers were consistently getting at or above 100%. That gap around 5% is where your negotiation lies currently. Only about 1 in 5 homes is closing above list price at this point. Around 60% are closing below the list, and about 1 in 5 active listing has already had at least one price reduction. Translation, if a home is priced too high, the market is correcting it and sellers are adjusting. You're not making decisions under pressure anymore. You can slow down, look at the numbers, and be strategic. And in a market like Charlotte, where the job growth is expansive, we're seeing and major employers continuing to expand here, that approach truly matters. That shift from acceleration to stabilization is a big mental reset for a lot of buyers who have been watching from the sidelines. And there's one more piece to this that most buyers completely miss. Walk into a new construction community in Steel Creek or Ballantyne right now, and just pay attention to what the sales rep offers before you even ask anything. Because what they're putting on the table today is not what they've offered 2 or 3 years prior. And it tells you a lot about where the market is heading. Most buyers don't think about this part. A homeowner can decide not to sell. They can wait it out. Builders don't have that option. They've got hundreds of homes in different stages, money tied up in land and construction, and the numbers have to hit. So when the market shifts, builders are usually the first to adjust. And right now, they are adjusting in the buyer's favor. You're seeing closing cost assistance in a lot of cases, close to $15,000 with some rate buy downs that are bringing your effective interest rate down in the early years. And on spec homes that have been sitting on the market 60 to 90 days, you're seeing flexibility on that price that wasn't there before. The two areas where this is showing up the most are Steel Creek out in the southwest Charlotte near Lake Wylie, and Ballantyne down in South Charlotte near South Carolina border. Those are two of the most active new construction corridors right now, and the incentive competition there is real, especially in the mid $300,000 to low $500,000 price ranges. Let me give you a real example. Smith Douglas Homes is offering a 2-1 rate buy down on select homes in the Charlotte area, where they're covering points up front to bring your rate down for the first 2 years. That can put your effective rate well below what you're walking into a bank to get currently. On top of that, they're offering flex cash that can be used towards closing costs or upgrades, and even some cases, move-in ready homes are paired with zero closing cost programs depending on what type of loan you're taking out. And this goes beyond just saying money on one deal. Builders don't offer incentives just to be nice. They do it because it costs them less than holding on to unsold inventory. That's an early signal. When you start seeing this happen at a large scale, it usually shows up here before it shows up in the resale market. So if you've been thinking about new construction in Charlotte, this is the time to walk into those communities and ask direct questions to the builder's rep. The answer you're getting today are very different from what you would have heard even a couple of years ago. The market that used to punish hesitation is not here anymore. And what we have now is a market that rewards the buyers who actually take the time to understand what is going on in today's market. So if you're thinking about buying in Charlotte and you want to talk through where the real opportunities are right now based on your price range and your timeline, shoot me an email at mark@allbrick.com today. And if you want to see why Charlotte's value story is still building from here, I've got a video linked right here that breaks down over $20 billion in funded projects reshaping the Charlotte skyline. Go check it out because it ties into everything we just walked through. Until next time, I hope to see you around town.